92.6% of the stories, they included the term suicide in the headline. 79.9% included the word commit suicide. Commit, the word C, commit. Please, as we are trying to up our knowledge in these matters, we need to also go with the community agreed guidelines. That as media, we don't use committed suicide. What we commit is something that is offensive, something that is criminal, something that is what? Sinful. Now, the general agreement from WHO and all over the world is that suicide is a life crisis. Suicide is a health crisis. It needs what? It needs to be cared for. It needs to be what? To be treated. It doesn't need to be what? Punished, right? And so if you say commit suicide, then of course you still put it within, right, the rubric of what? Of sin, of a crime. And thankfully, 28th of March this year, we woke up to the good news that suicide is no longer a crime. We are still waiting for the presidential assent. And so even in Ghana, at least, it is not a crime. And therefore, WHO says we should not use the word commit. And 79.9, despite these guidelines, are still using commit. 92.7 mention specific method in violation of WHO's guideline. 66.3 provided detailed descriptions of the methods used for the acts. 92.7 mentioned a specific place or location where the act took place. 83.7 reported the names of the victims. They reported the names of the victims. Colleagues, I believe sometimes when you engage with your colleagues in other parts of the world, I think that you can have a discussion on them on how they also do it. In fact, in some places, it's a crime for you, a media person, to be doing all this. In fact, they can even lose your license. In no way, they don't joke with this. If you go against any of these guidelines, you may lose your license because society expects you to help in preventing suicide. Yes. So 55.6 included the photos of the victims, in their suicide. And then 50.3 provided reader-generated comment threads. So they provided comment section where people were also just saying and writing whatever they like, with no regard for the bereaved family, right? So surprisingly, each of the 288 news reports analyzed failed to mention any of the potential helpful features recommended by the WHO. At least where to get education, where to get the help, education on suicide, providing facts on suicide, mention a suicide prevention program or support service. None of them in the 288 news reports did it.